Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV, and the Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news show.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show is live on Monday at noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Thursday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is August 28th, 2017, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a Durango man with 3 previous drunken driving offenses was sentenced Friday to 2 years in jail and 10 years of probation for running over 2 pedestrians while driving drunk. Cruz Baca, age 39, apologized to his victims and asked for forgiveness. He said he was forced to look in the mirror and he didn't like what he saw. He hopes the community can see him for more than his mistakes. I am very sorry for what my mistakes have caused, Baca said. Baca faced up to 12 years in prison after being convicted by a jury in June on 4 counts: vehicular assault while driving drunk, leaving the scene of an accident, careless driving, and misdemeanor assault. District Judge William Herringer gave Baca the maximum possible sentence without sending him to prison. It was a difficult decision for the judge, one that took him several minutes to announce on the record. Herringer said he wanted to send Baca to prison, but he doesn't believe Baca is an ongoing danger to the community, and prison won't make him a better person. Instead, the judge wanted Baca to serve 2 years at the La Plata County Jail with work release, meaning he can maintain a job, and that will allow him to pay restitution to the victims. Despite the judge's leniency, it is possible Baca will be resentenced in coming weeks. Baca has 3 previous drunken driving offenses from more than 10 years ago in New Mexico. He apparently has a probation violation stemming from one of those offenses, and it is possible a warrant has been issued for his arrest. If that is the case, Baca won't be eligible for work release, and Judge Herringer said he would resentence Baca to the Department of Corrections.
A horse is a horse, of course, reported in the Durango Herald. Tales of a headless horseman who prowls the forest at night in a horse-drawn carriage, looking for his decapitated head and taking victims along the way, may have persisted and spooked people since the Middle Ages. But what about the sight of a carriage being pulled down the street with nobody steering the buggy? According to the Durango Herald, that was the sight a few people caught last Tuesday in downtown Durango. The police commander, Ray Shoup, said reports came in to police about 8:45 p.m. Tuesday that a horse was pulling a carriage, apparently with no driver at the helm. The first call spotted the horse-drawn carriage Sans Coachman in the East 100 block of 5th Street. Then a few minutes later, another person called in to report the carriage running stop signs on East 3rd Avenue near 8th Street. Shoup said, "It sounds to me like the horse was running his route." Indeed, according to Dean Mize, owner of San Juan Sky Outfitters, that's exactly what the horse, whose name is Pi a la Mode, was doing. Miss Mize said, "The horse, I've trained him, went right to where he was supposed to go. He knows the rules better than my drivers." San Juan Sky Outfitters offers horse-drawn carriage rides through the historic district of downtown Durango. Passengers are picked up in front of the Strader Hotel, taken up 5th Street, north on East 3rd Avenue to 8th Street, and back to Main Avenue, ending up back at the Strader Hotel. Mize said that just south of the Strader Hotel, a driver got distracted and the horse slipped away. Mize said the driver was unable to catch up with the carriage, which had no passengers in it. The horse then took off as if it were a normal stroll through downtown before it was caught near East 3rd Avenue and 8th Street. Mize said that Pi, who has also been running the route for 8 years, even knows when to stop at streetlights. "I think it knew the driver wasn't there and wanted to go out on its own," Mize said. "My driver should have known better. He has egg on his face and he's not happy about it." At least it was a relief to those who may have thought a new legend was haunting the streets of Durango. Commander Shoup commented, "I guess this is just part of living in a cowboy town."
According to the Cortez Journal, to address the cost of college textbooks, a Colorado Senate bill has established a council to evaluate the use of academic materials by colleges in the state. Governor John Hickenlooper signed the bill, SB 17-258, in May. Open educational resources are in the public domain or introduced with an open license. This means that anyone can freely copy and use them. She is a consultant to the Open Education Resources Council. Similar initiatives have gained momentum in California, New York, North Dakota, Oregon, and other states. I have used free and open textbooks many times in math courses at Colorado State University, Pueblo, and find them a great benefit to my students, said Jonathan Poritz, a member of the OER Council and associate professor in math and physics. The OER Council is composed of 14 members, including faculty, librarians, and administrators, and represents 2-year and 4-year institutions of higher education. Members of the OER Council were nominated by their respective campus leaders and provide expert insight and act as advocates for the future of those resources in Colorado.
From DCTV and the Cortez Journal coverage of last Saturday's car show west of Dove Creek, the Journal wrote that on a sunny summer day in the plains of the Utah and Colorado border, people from near and far took their cars to the State Line Bar and Grill for the 4th annual DC Rat Rod Nationals car show. The event began as a small gathering in the town of Dove Creek and has grown into a full car show with a swap trade meeting opportunity on the land of the state line that drew over 100 registered vehicles. The two event organizers, Lyle Rice and Ed Hodson, first met at a car show. The first one of these we had, I was kind of putting it together in Dove Creek, and I met Lyle at a car show in Cortez, Hodson said. He had his little rat rod there, and we got to talking, and he said he would like to help, and he's been a phenomenal helper ever since. I wouldn't have done it the past couple of years if it had not been for him. The event has no entrance fee and is open to any vehicle. Rice said, "We are open to anybody, car, motorcycle, trucks, anybody that wants to come." The car show used to be in Dove Creek, but as it grew, it needed more space. That first year was a success, Rice said. We had 80 cars or so, and it goes up each year. The owner of the State Line Bar and Grill, Tim Meyer, was excited about the success of the event. "This is great," Meyer said. "I've never seen this many people here at one time. I'm very excited." The event also featured vendor space and live music from Bent Fender and local favorite Country Feedback. Plans are already in the works on how to improve the event for next year.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Colorado education leaders are zeroing in on 3 broad ways to curb the state's teacher shortage: increasing compensation, improving preparation and training, and lifting the profession. While specific strategies are still being fleshed out, those 3 themes were highlighted Wednesday at a press conference held by Kathy Antz, the state's education commissioner, and Kim Hunter-Reid, the executive director of the Department of Higher Education. Anthes and Hunter-Reid spoke to reporters as the 2 departments are wrapping up a series of forums across the state to gather input on how to best the shortage, which is especially pronounced in rural Colorado and in high school math and science classrooms. The departments are tasked with creating a strategic plan to present to state lawmakers by December. The department heads said the plan will provide a mix of approaches that lawmakers, local school districts, and communities can deploy based on individual needs. One suggestion that has been a crowd favorite at the town halls is a statewide base salary for teachers, officials said. However, neither Anthes nor Hunter-Reid would commit to making such a recommendation to the legislature. Such a mandate would likely require an extensive influx of cash to schools, or at the least drastic cuts to other school-based programs at the local level. The later scenario would infuriate superintendents in smaller school districts who are already feeling the squeeze to increase the required minimum wages for other workers. Both stressed that it would take more than new state laws to boost the number of new teachers and keep current teachers in the profession. That's especially true, they said, when it comes to reframing the public conception of educators. More specific ideas the departments are considering include developing new training at the college level, increasing awareness of alternative ways to become a teacher, and providing educators better access to affordable housing. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
In regional weather news, a strong high pressure will remain over the western U.S., bringing drier and warmer air to western Colorado and eastern Utah through much of the coming work week. Isolated mountain thunderstorms are still possible in the highest terrain each afternoon. However, most locations north of the San Juans will remain dry. The major story will be warmer temperatures running at least 5 degrees above average over the next several days. In the longer outlook, a strengthening low in the Gulf of Alaska will drop an upper-level trough across the Pacific Northwest on Wednesday, which is forecast to interact with the high pressure in place Wednesday and Thursday. This trough should allow for increasing cloud coverage Wednesday night. Slightly cooler air and increased cloud coverage should allow temperatures to cool down a bit by Thursday and Friday. And then we should see a build back up of high pressure into the western U.S. over the weekend so that these dry conditions and above average temperatures will again return to our region. Of course, the big national weather story is Harvey, stated as continuing unrelenting rain set to prolong this terrible flood disaster in and around Houston. The course of the storm is slowly moving up into Louisiana. Communities will be underwater for weeks and perhaps a month or so. Power will remain out for several weeks until it's safe for crews to repair the lines. 15 to 25 inches of rain fell across a large portion of southeastern Texas as Harvey stalled following landfall. As of early Monday morning, top rainfall from Harvey was near 31 inches. Additional rainfall amounts of a foot or more this week will push levees and drainage systems past their limits. Water may need to be released from the reservoirs to release the strain, further inundating some communities. And over in Florida, a tropical cyclone may be developing that might become a named storm Irma, depending on how the conditions unfold. Rains and storms will graze the Atlantic coastline over the next 2 days, but the course of this storm is still undetermined. And in our area, the hazardous weather potential is for isolated showers and thunderstorms that are expected this afternoon and this evening, especially over the southern mountains and southwestern valleys of Colorado. The main threat from these storms will be cloud to ground lightning and outflow winds of 40 miles an hour. The high temperatures will be in the upper 80s this week with lows in the 50s throughout the 5-day forecast. And now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, 3 entrepreneurs hope to put Mancos on the map in the hard cider industry this year. Earlier this year, Sam Perry, Neil White, and Joe Buckle rented a space in the former La Plata Millworks cabinet shop on 141 Main Street, hoping to turn it into a cidery and tasting room. Their company, Outlier Cellars, LLC, will start producing hard cider and a variety of wines in time for harvest season this fall. Although some of their grapes and apples will be imported from other states, Perry said he wants the cider to reflect Montezuma County's unique orchard varieties. All 3 men have backgrounds in fruit fermentation. Perry has had a long career in the apple industry and works at Ancient Harvest Ranch near Mancos, which is home to a large heirloom orchard. White and Buckle both come from the wine business. Buckle is the head winemaker at Sutcliffe Vineyards in McElmo Canyon, and he also owns Buckle Family Wines. He plans to sell some of his wines at this cidery. White said he grew up in Northern California's wine country and helped grow grapes there for much of his life before moving to Mancos to join the project last year. When it opens, Outlier Cellars will be the culmination of about 3 years of work. It has taken the group that long to settle on a good cider variety and acquire all the equipment they need, Perry said, but he believes the final product will benefit the community. Apple orchards were once a large part of Montezuma County's agricultural economy, and groups like the Montezuma Orchard Restoration Project have worked for years to preserve the heirloom apple varieties that were once plentiful in the area. Perry said he hopes a local cidery will help revitalize the industry.
Today's marijuana moment from a Cortez Journal report. Colorado's legal marijuana industry is working and can work better with federal collaboration, the state's governor and Republican Attorney General told U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions in a letter last Thursday. Governor John Hickenlooper and Attorney General Cynthia Kaufman urged Sessions to collaborate with recreational pot states on law enforcement and on providing the industry access to the federal banking system. The pot industry relies on cash because the federal government considers the drug illegal. They told Sessions, who has floated the idea of a crackdown on the marijuana legalization, that Colorado's first-in-the-nation recreational industry is robust. The state has taken steps to crack down on black market sales, diversion to other states, and youth use, they said. Colorado's system has become a model for other states and nations. Hickenlooper and Kaufman wrote, voter-approved sales began in 2014. Sessions recently sent letters to the governors of Colorado, Alaska, Oregon, and Washington, the first 4 states to legalize recreational marijuana, detailing his concerns with how effective state regulatory efforts are. All have defended their efforts. Hickenlooper and Kaufman addressed several of Sessions' concerns. In regard to diversion, they noted that Colorado has sophisticated seed-to-sale tracking, has capped individual plant cultivation, banned pot-growing cooperatives, and provided $6 million this year for local police actions targeting the black market. Regarding minors, they insisted that several surveys suggest marijuana consumption by youth has not increased since legalization, and that one federal report sponsored by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services suggests it had declined. Colorado has spent more than $22 million on education. And regarding motor vehicle fatalities, Hickenlooper and Kaufman reported the number of drivers considered by the state's highway patrol to be pot impaired dropped by 21% over the first 6 months of 2017 compared to the same period last year. In conclusion, they wrote, "We stand ready to work with our federal partners to fortify what we have built."
According to the Cortez Journal, with the opening of a new infant and toddler center, the Dolores School District now serves students between the ages of 6 weeks and 3 years old. The center was a community collaboration kicked off by a $23,000 grant from the Buell Foundation and Colorado Department of Education. Another $23,000 worth of free labor, cash, and materials were donated by local businesses, individuals, the school, and town government. The children's school is in a large, remodeled modular building donated by the school district and moved next door to the Teddy Bear Preschool at 1550 Hillside Drive. The fee-based school will serve 8 toddlers and 8 infants in 2 separate classrooms. It will be run by 2 qualified teachers with degrees in early childhood development plus 2 certified teacher aides. The cost is $36 per day. The new school features large playrooms with colorful rugs, kid-sized furniture, and shelves filled with toys and children's books. In the infant classroom, 8 wooden cribs await the town's youngest generation. The center focuses on teaching social skills, attention, and cognitive skills, and how to work autonomously, she said. The Infant Toddler Center also benefits the overall family, officials added during presentations, giving parents the option to work additional jobs to make ends meet. It was noted that the recent closure of a daycare center in the Dolores area has created a local need, and a lack of daycare centers is a statewide problem. Dolores schools will be giving a presentation on their success at a meeting with superintendents from around the state in October. The Dolores Infant Toddler Center is booked for now, but there is room in upcoming school years.
Along what Cortez businesses would like to develop as a restaurant row, the Cortez Journal reported that more variety arrived on Main Street last month with the Lounge and Lizard's expansion. The Lounge and Lizard at 2 West Main Street has expanded into the space next door, opening the Chop House at Lounging Lizard. The space at 4 West Main Street previously housed the San Juan Coffee Shop, which closed in February after about 2 years in the space. Owner and chef Brian Pewitt said, "We thought it might be our last opportunity to get to expand in this building, so we weren't planning on it, it just kind of happened and we went for it." Lounge and Lizard opened in November of 2014 and has been a main attraction on Main Street ever since. With downtown Cortez growing and expanding, storefronts are quickly becoming a hot commodity. It is a busy block down here, so to be able to have extra space in the downtown Main Street area is pretty unique and rare, co-owner Amanda Pewitt said. "We just wanted to jump on it when we had the opportunity because who knows when that opportunity would have come up again." The Pewitts are serving espresso and grab and go in the Chop House from 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Wednesday through Monday. Complementing the grab and go focus of the daytime operation, the Chop House offers iced tea, Italian sodas, coffee, breakfast burritos, and New York style pizza sold by the slice. The Chop House also runs a bar all day long, stocked with beers, local Sutcliffe Vineyard wines, and mixed drinks. As expected at the steakhouse, the bar has a solid lineup of bourbon and Scotch whiskey. At 4 p.m., the space transforms into the Chop House, which focuses on steaks and tapas. The new restaurant boasts a familiar Lounge and Lizards feel with a twist. There are different There are different atmospheres, Amanda Pewitt said. We still have the cool rock wall in the 127-year-old building on both sides, but different music and just a bit of a different atmosphere, so it is familiar but not exactly the same. The idea for the menu of the expansion came from customers who requested more dishes and choices from Chef Brian Pewitt. This side has a different menu, Amanda Pewitt said. It has a tapas menu and then a chop house, so you can create your own steak dish. You pick what cut of meat you want and which size, and then you can add garnishes and sauces to it. Over there at the Lounge and Lizard is the same chalkboard menu that they've gotten to know and love, Amanda Pewitt said. Ultimately, the Pewitts are excited to offer something new to a community they love. It has become this wonderful little downtown community that we are lucky to be a part of and have fun with it, Amanda said. We are just excited for this new space and want to make sure that everybody knows that it's there.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of August 21st through the 27th. A town resident requested assistance from an officer in requesting neighbors to be mindful of arrows and baseballs landing on their property. The resident also requested assistance in having a neighbor remove a hay bale causing an obstacle while mowing. A town resident requested assistance in getting items returned from a former visitor. A town resident reported getting multiple hang-up calls from a local number and requested an officer ask that they stop calling. Officers investigated a report of a stolen flatbed trailer from a local business. The trailer was recovered in Utah, charges to be filed on suspect in the theft. Thomas Kane was arrested for failing to appear in court for charges of possession of illegal wildlife. Lacey Hankins was transported from Montezuma County Jail to appear in Dolores County Court on multiple charges. A town resident requested assistance unlocking a vehicle in their driveway. The deputy was successful. Multiple calls from residents on Road H.6 came in regarding bear sightings. There were 3 baby cubs playing in a tree with the mother bear down the roadway. The Division of Wildlife was notified and the officer made contact with the residents. A Dolores County Sheriff's deputy responded to safely encourage the bear cubs to reunite with their mother. An Ophir resident was concerned that a family member was overdue in arriving home and was worried they got into an accident on Lizard Head. There were no accidents reported. While discussing possible next steps, the overdue party came home. A town resident reported concern for the well-being of a neighbor's dog. The animal control officer responded to check the welfare of the animal and found it had food, water, and shelter. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings coming up September 2nd and 3rd. The Labor Day weekend Biker Rodeo. Twisted Whiskers from Arizona will be hosting at the Enterprise Bar Labor Day weekend Biker Rodeo. 2 days of events with food and drink at the Enterprise in Rico, super fun organized motorcycle competitions, followed by live music in the beer garden on Monday. Bikes are welcome from all over the region and spectators are too. All you got to do is show up, it's free. And September 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m., Music in the Park 2017 will be hosted by Lone Mesa and Mancos State Parks. Sandy Hoagland on uke and voice and Tom Kuchansky on uke, guitar, and voice will entertain. They have performed all around the area, including the Cortez Farmers Market, Durango, and more. Their music is fun and moving and family friendly. That's at the Mancos State Park Amphitheater. Labor Day weekend pig roast and luau party will be hosted by the Dolores River Campground in Dolores. This is their 5th annual event there. They'll get the day going with a duck race to benefit the Dolores PTA, enjoy roasted pig and a potluck, and live music with the Aloha Club. They suggest you wear your favorite Hawaiian garb and enjoy spending the day at the DRC. Tonight, Monday, August 28th, is the Dove Creek Community Voice Meeting at 6 p.m. at the Old Pinion Place in Dove Creek. It will mark the first discussion on, quote, learning for solutions, starting the process to determine the programs to be funded. All of the happenings are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call us at the station at 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs live at noon Monday through Wednesday and then rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.